Blanche wakes early on a humid Miami morning, her glitzy bedroom transformed into a makeshift guest quarters for the weekend. She fusses over fresh linens, pink satin sheets to contrast with the antique mahogany headboard, and arranges a vase of gardenias on the bedside table, inhaling their sweet scent and picturing her father's proud smile. In the kitchen, she rehearses her welcome speech, practicing that perfect southern drawl and peppering in jokes about how a lady never ages, she just gets more distinguished. Dorothy watches with an amused half smile, reminding Blanche between sips of coffee that her father hasn't been to Miami in over a decade. She might want to temper expectations. Rose, carrying a tray of coconut macaroons, offers moral support, while Sophia, seated in her armchair, mutters that she'll keep her rolling pin handy, just in case Big Daddy thinks he can waltz in and run the place. As the clock inches toward noon, the air in the apartment grows thick with anticipation. Blanche checks her reflection one last time, lipstick, blush, and a single curl pinned perfectly, before flouncing into the living room. Dorothy offers a gentle nudge. Remember, Daddy sold the mansion to finance his music career, but he's still your father. Blanche nods, her jaw set with a mixture of pride and apprehension. This visit isn't just a chance to reconnect. It's a test of Blanche's own definition of family and forgiveness, a lesson learned in the antebellum parlor rooms of her youth, but newly applied to her life in Miami. A sleek black convertible pulls up outside, and Blanche's heart skips a beat. The door swings open to reveal George Big Daddy Hollingsworth, tall, silver-haired, and dressed in cowboy boots and a fringed leather jacket, his grin framed by a well-trimmed mustache. He strides up the lanai steps with open arms, enveloping Blanche in a bear hug that nearly knocks her off her feet. Behind him stands a battered guitar case, scuffed from countless road miles, and in his back pocket peeks a crumpled lyric sheet. Blanche laughs through tears, her carefully maintained composure giving way to genuine emotion. She hasn't felt this scene since she was 8 years old, watching him lead the Founders' Day parade in St. Olaf with that same tall-tale flair. Dorothy and Rose greet him with cordial hugs, though Rose's whispered question, "He really sold your house?" makes Blanche wince. Big Daddy waves it off with a hearty chuckle, admitting he traded their family mansion for the chance to sing his songs on the Grand Ole Opry stage. He recounts the moment he signed the deed. "I felt lighter than a sunflower in June," he says, and flashes a mischievous twinkle that reminds Blanche of her childhood belief that he could do no wrong. Sophia, ever the skeptic, sizes him up with a raised eyebrow and mutters, "I hope your voice is better than your judgment, boy." Yet even Sophia can't hide a flicker of pride at her grandson's daring spirit. That evening, the four of them gather in the living room as Big Daddy breaks out his guitar and croons an original country ballad about lost love and second chances. His voice is raw but sincere, and Blanche rests her head against his shoulder, soothed by the soft strumming. After the final chorus, he confesses that after 2 months on the road, he's only earned enough for a few jars of moonshine and a motel room, not the headlining career he'd hoped for. The lull echoes with unspoken questions. Has his dream eclipsed his responsibilities, or is it proof of a life lived on his own terms? Blanche squeezes his hand, realizing that her own dreams of stability, of respect, of deep roots are just as bold in their way. Meanwhile, Dorothy glances out the window at the storm clouds rolling in. A sudden gust sends a large palm frond crashing onto the neighbor's driveway, and Dorothy's protective instincts flare. She storms outside to confront Leonard Barton, the golf cart riding retiree next door, who insists the tree is on his property and refuses to clear it. As thunder rumbles, Blanche watches her daughter navigating a battle of boundaries and neighborly courtesy, another lesson in love versus pride. Rose offers Big Daddy a sympathetic smile. Sometimes storms teach us more than sunny days. The juxtaposition of personal storms, Big Daddy's dashed musical hopes, and literal storms gathering overhead sets the stage for a reckoning of priorities. The next morning brings bruised egos all around. Blanche confronts her father gently. She loves his courage, but worries he's left behind everyone who depended on him. Big Daddy defends his choice, insisting that he couldn't face another sunrise without chasing his own song. Blanche realizes that while she once idolized his wanderlust, she now craves a home that holds her heart. She asks him if he'll consider returning to St. Olaf, where his stories and those chrysanthemums tuna floats once delighted an entire town, an invitation to anchor his legacy in shared memory rather than solitude. Big Daddy's eyes mist over. He admits he's lonely on the road and misses the sweetest Hollingsworth of all. And Blanche understands that home is wherever love resides. At the same time, Dorothy returns from another clash with Leonard Barton. This time she brings him a steaming plate of Sophia's meatballs and a calm request to help clear the fallen frond. Leonard, shamed by her gesture, relents, and together they lift the heavy debris back onto his property. The act of bridging the divide with kindness mirrors Blanche and her father's struggle to reconcile ambition with affection. Rose watches both reunions unfold, daughter and neighbor, father and daughter, and offers a satisfied sigh that sometimes the simplest acts of generosity yield the greatest peace. By afternoon, the storm has passed, and a rainbow arcs over the lanai. Big Daddy stands before a small pile of packed belongings. He smiles at Blanche, promising to stay in Miami at least until her museum gala next month, where she'll debut the new Southern folk art collection he inspired with his tall tales. In return, Blanche offers to fund a demo recording of his songs so he can chase Nashville without having sold the roof over her head. They embrace, daughter and father, forging a partnership built on both honor and adventure. Dorothy, returning from the neighbor's yard, announces that Leonard Barton has invited them all to a block party barbecue as an apology. The Golden Girls exchange delighted glances, recalling how fractured relationships can heal with a single plate of ribs. Rose, already humming a St. Olaf hymn about hospitality, gathers plates and napkins while Sophia dons her most intimidating gardening gloves, just in case any stray roots need taming. Together, they step onto the lanai, ready to celebrate community, family, and the surprising ways a dreamer's detours can lead everyone home. As twilight deepens, Blanche and her father sit on the lanai steps, sharing sweet tea and watching fireflies dance among the palms. Blanche teases him about his cowboy jacket. "You look like a sherbet sundae with fringe," she laughs, and he retorts that she looks like a diva in pearls. Their easy banter is a testament to healed wounds and renewed understanding. Dreams and duty need not be enemies, but guides on life's winding road. Back inside, Dorothy, Rose, and Sophia recline on the couch, reviewing the day's events over coconut macaroons. Dorothy muses that they've learned to negotiate storms, both literal and emotional, by staying open to compassion. Rose nods, adding that sometimes the wildest journeys bring us right back where we belong. Sophia snorts good-naturedly. "And if all else fails, call a neighbor and bake a meatball." Their laughter floats into the humid night, echoing the bonds that weather every tempest, grounding them in a home bright with possibility and love.